And so, we tuned in, because we promised our heroes we would. Koto Shouho! Seal the top division promotion! Ura! Make it 2 titles in a row! And one by one, we saw our favourite wrestlers acknowledge that we were watching. They were grateful. You'll feel our gratitude from the way we fight, they claimed. But it was so hard for them to picture the outside world in that empty Osaka bunker with the doors slammed shut. And at first, it was equally hard for us to watch. For what we saw at the start of today's broadcast was this beautiful ancient sport completely at the mercy of modern times. Referees thickly coating their hands in sanitizer, struggling to keep it off their shiny hitatare costumes. Journalists having their temperature taken at reception. The great Yokozuna Hakuho speaking to us through a face mask. His voice was as muffled as those of the fans who wanted to come, but instead got a deep bow of Chairman Hakkaku's shiny head by way of apology. Their 7,000 places were taken by a handful of journalists on the second floor, and a smattering of coaches and cameramen on the first. You could hear a sweet being unwrapped. It was like the scene from the new movie Fukushima 50, where the Prime Minister imagines what a post-apocalyptic Japan might look like if they don't get the problem under control. Had those brave men not done so, we really would be sheltering in Osaka. Silence, broken only by the whispers of Mr. Sato and Kitanofuji in NHK's sound-proofed booth, and Mainumi from his nearby space pod. The Yobidashi struck one wooden clapper against another. Clack! Only the echo and the sounds of camera shutters answered. Local earthquake survivor Terutsuyoshi! Clack! January champion and local boy Tokushoryu! Clack! Sekiwake and Ozeki contender Asanoyama! Clack! Adopted Osakan Takakeisho! Clack! Nobody even to lament the absence of Ozeki Goedo. Nobody to cheer the emergence even of white-belted Hakuho and sword-bearing Enho. Clack, clack. The Yokozuna to perform his ceremony against a vast backdrop of floor cushions. You could hear the sound of sand being scraped by his foot as he raised his right leg to stamp evil spirits into the ground. No shouts of Yoisho when he did. Ha ha, sections of the internet laughed. You couldn't stamp away the virus, and everyone's abandoned you. And we wondered whether Sumo had any riposte to offer. Then, suddenly, it happened. A dramatic change to the schedule that produced Sumo's finest moment in recent memory. The darkness crept forward and fragmented into a dozen black-robed members of the judging division, led out to the ring by Chairman Hakkaku. And waiting for them there was every single top division wrestler, not a single one having pulled out through injury. Only on very important occasions does such a ringside gathering take place, such as when the Showa Emperor died in 1989. What was Hakkaku going to tell us on the dohyo? He's never been the best speechmaker. He's never had the best speechwriters. But he was sure that today, of all days, his sumo association had to be greater than the sum of its parts. To all those who bought tickets, I'm deeply sorry, he said. But we cannot risk causing the slightest of problems for the country as a whole. To everybody infected by the virus, I wish you the speediest of recoveries. A sumo wrestler's body is the symbol of a strong and healthy body. Our purification gestures are designed to drive away evil spirits. While I acknowledge that it must be very difficult for our wrestlers to get themselves in the right frame of mind, I hope that they meet the expectations of everyone watching on TV and bring inspiration to every corner of the land. Now we were grateful for the silence to appreciate how pitch-perfect that speech was. It was as considerate and appreciative as every sumo wrestler is encouraged to be. And it was authoritative. It was the moment when sumo regained control of the agenda and redefined its role in the current crisis. It is not a victim of special measures. It is a tower of strength, a beacon of hope to those who don't feel strong. Just as it was in 2011, just as it always has been. From then on, we could enjoy an afternoon of discovery as the wrestlers stoically carried out their mission. The sounds of the training area on the actual tournament dohyo, every clap, stamp, and collision. Takakeisho's distinct, heavy breathing as he went through his opening gestures, the fever-pitched grunting as he tore into Takayasu and vice versa. And the special sounds of the match day, the chief judge's voice stating, "Time is up," the referee's instructions clearer than ever. With this level of scrutiny, it's like a technical evaluation for Yobidashi and referees, enthused Mainomi from his pod. One referee, Sanosuke, brother of Kyokudozan, claimed he had held his voice in so as not to overimpose. The wrestlers were discovering things with us. Those used to strong vocal backing, especially Enho, learned how hard it was to fight without it. And with the ringside area so empty, many wrestlers seemed startled by how high the dohyo actually seemed, visibly pulling back from powerful final shoves lest their foes suffer a nasty tumble. And for those of us blessed with NHK's Japanese commentary, it was a chance to really focus on the details and nuances of what was being said. Head-to-heads, milestones, recent training performances, quirky facts, and tons of technical analysis, all politely whispered into the mic. The dedication of the NHK team and the riches of their sumo information bank are to be appreciated in moments such as these. Their support for our wrestlers ensured that there was never a dull moment on the day that sumo collectively won.